Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Breaking the News. I'm Michelle Kinney. I'm here with Julie Roginski and the one and only Jeff Jarvis. And this is the Mayday Network. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Happy Friday. It is August 21st here in New York City / New Jersey. And
we round up.
We round up.
It's okay.
There's the word "new" is in both the states, and it's all fine. Going well.
We are all one.
We all suffered through some crazy weather last night, but here we are surviving the moment. Before we get started here, I just want to say hi, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Michelle. How are you?
All right. I'm all right.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you get hit yesterday?
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It was Long
awful.
Island, which I'm not there, but I saw they had like tornadoes and stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah, my son walked home from the subway to our house, and he came in, and he was I've never seen. He was like a wet noodle.
Yeah.
I was like, get in the shower now and washed off the acid rain that is all over your face right now. But yeah, it was pretty bad. You guys, there's a lot to talk about, including our favorite subject, Scott Jennings. But before. Michelle, you have a clip that you want to show, no? Yes?
I do, and I'm actually delighted, tickled, if you will, to see in the chat today that other people saw it as well. For anybody who doesn't know, Jimmy Kimmel famously takes the summer off, and he has people come and sit in for him at the desk. And Rosie O'Donnell, I think, was the perfect person to do this for so many reasons. Number one being like, oh my God, get under Trump's skin. Right under his skin. But also, I speak as an elder millennial, or all millennials really. We are all obsessed as a generation with Rosie O'Donnell. We loved her show. I could not race home fast enough to watch the Rosie O'Donnell show, because if you were a kid who felt a little maybe outcast, or maybe you were part of the weird clique, and you loved drama and musicals and things, and you couldn't afford to go to New York City, and you didn't live you didn't live nearby, the one way that you had a window into that world was Rosie O'Donnell. And she single-handedly revived the entire theater industry at the time. I think she's fantastic. I love her. Julie's having some internet issues, guys, so she might be in and out. Someone asks, is Julie asleep? She is not. But anyways, I say all that to say, I don't know many people my age who weren't watching her this week, either live or after the fact the next day. And she closed out the monologue last night with the most perfect song that only she could do. Here it is.
I would like to close my final monologue here with a traditional Irish song dedicated to a very special boy. Oh, Donny boy, it's Rosie, Rosie calling from Hollywood, the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Drop that Big Mac that we all know you're holding, because, my dear, I worry for you so. Poor Donny boy, your poles are falling. Your reflecting pool is green as Mountain Dew. Your wig's a mess, your ballroom is appalling. And with Naran, you bit off more than you can chew. Measles are back, inflation is a swelling. You post all night, you're sleeping while you work. And what's with all this useless crap you're selling? Hey, sweetie pie, you're driving us all berserk. But there's a way to end this drama. It's time to use that stable genius brain. Since we all know you'll never be Obama. Why not resign and make this country great again? Yes, we all know you'll never be Obama. Come on, resign and make this country great again.
fantastic.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Like, oh my God, it's so good. Oh. Just kidding. Hello.
It's
Hi,
me.
Julie.
I moved to a different part of my house. Oh, I'm sorry, friends. I don't know what's going on today. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi in New York City. It's been bad all morning. Hi.
Yeah. Hello. I'm so sorry you
Hello.
just missed. Oh, do you have two things on maybe? No, now it's not
I
doing it.
don't
Okay.
think so.
There was a little bit of an echo there for a second. No, we were just watching Rosie's fantastic closing song from Jimmy Kimmel about Donald Trump that was just amazing on so many levels. You know he watched that shit and you know he was throwing ketchup up on that wall. And you know, not for nothing, the ratings for Rosie on the Jimmy Kimmel show were through the roof. Like through the roof. Blew everybody else out of the water from all the guests. So shout out to Rosie O'Donnell. You probably won't see this, but we love you. I love you. My whole generation loves you. And thank you for everything. And stay strong. So
And by the way,
Yeah.
I have been pissed at Disney. They took Jimmy Kimmel off the air. They've done
Yep.
other things. They aired Trump's ridiculous sports thing, but they're suing the FCC.
Yeah.
They allowed Rosie to come on. Maybe
Yep.
they're finally growing some gonads, Mickey Mouse is. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, it's interesting. They admitted that they censored political guests and stopped booking political guests on The View in order to not piss off Trump. Like, that is quite an admission to make,
Yep.
Disney. And it is quite a concession to Trump to make, Disney. And I go back, I said this. I was on MS a couple of days ago, and we were actually talking about this. I was talking about this with Alicia Menendez, who we all love. And I was saying to her,
Indeed.
and I probably should not have trashed another network. I should not have trashed another network on a different network because that's not
Well.
really seemly. But we were
I
talking about this,
I
and
think it's
said,
time. Wait. Stay right there, Julie, for 1 second. It is time
Right.
that we have more judgment. It
I
is time that
agree.
we in journalism decide what is good journalism and bad journalism with each other. So no, trash away. I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too.
Okay, well, I did. Whether I did or I didn't, I did. And what I said, and I'll repeat it here, is Disney is nobody to blame but themselves, right? Disney is nobody
Yep.
to blame but themselves, because what Disney did is settle with Trump. They were the first. They were the Paul Weiss of the networks, right?
Yes.
They
Yep.
opened the door.
Yep.
And they ran to him the minute he won an election. Within like 2 weeks, the whole thing was settled. And now they're expecting some sort of now all of a sudden they're like, heavens to Betsy, how could this be happening to us? Well, friends, this is why people tell you to leave your abusive husband the first time he hits you. Because he's going to keep doing it.
Yep.
I hate that analogy. It's a really probably unfair one, but it is actually pretty apt.
Well,
I think.
abuse is
what's going on?
abuse.
Abuse is abuse, and he is abusive. And you see this happening over and over and over again. And I don't know if people read the Paul Weiss story in the New York Times maybe it was a week ago or so, or 2 weeks ago, about the demise of that firm. But it's the same exact thing. Anybody who has bent the knee to Trump, it has not worked out well for them. Now, it has worked out probably fairly well for Amazon and for others for reasons we could talk about later. But the truth of the matter is, if you're a network and you're in the news business, you're now at the point where you're admitting in a federal filing that you are censoring your own content to please the guy in charge. What is a bigger violation of the First Amendment? And more importantly, you're violating it preemptively.
And whom do you serve? The public you serve, you're throwing off the cliff.
And it's probably not a surprise that Bob Iger, who I'm sure is still a massive Disney shareholder and still probably advises the company one way or the other, is now going into business buying the Lakers with Jared Kushner's brother, who everybody keeps saying that's the good Kushner. He's a Democrat. No, friends, he's not the good Kushner. He's not. We'll see. I wrote a bunch of Substacks about this. This is the same guy that tried to take over FIFA's, media operation. It failed because, thank God, the Europeans and the Asians and the Asian FIFA component and the South American FIFA component and the North American FIFA component said no effing way. But he only got that because of his brother and the proximity that Gianni Infantino, the head of FIFA, wants to the Kushner/Trump families. He's only in business getting the Lakers because of proximity. He's not the good Kushner. There's no, listen, I know
Yeah.
that family. I know that family since kids were born. There's no such thing as a good Kushner. So let me just say this, including, setting up his own sister, anyway, we don't have to belabor that. But the point is, like, what Disney is doing, and I'm sorry I'm ranting about this, but actually I'm pretty pissed off at Disney at the moment. Like, nobody should be sitting here applauding Disney for platforming Rosie O'Donnell. This is what every late night host has done to every president in the history of late night. They have beaten the shit out of every president, Democrat or Republican. And for us to be sitting here saying, yay, look at Disney, finally got a pair. Are you kidding me? This wouldn't even be a story if Disney hadn't behaved the way it behaved. It would have just been Kimmel on vacation and Rosie's filling in for him out here to do the show.
It's a low bar.
Am I freezing up again?
A little bit, yeah.
Glitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. The thing about the Lakers, though, and I know that this isn't like a sports show here, but the reason I said we'll see is because Jeannie Buss, who's the daughter, right, who kind of like is the biggest shareholder, I think, and other shareholders have said that they won't sell to them. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Money talks, and this, I mean, $12 billion for a basketball team is insane. I invite anybody to go listen to Bill Simmons' podcast where he talks about how, private equity and oligarchs are taking over sports to the point that, these people don't care about the game. They just want to make money. But isn't that kind of the story with everything now? None of these people care about anything except for making money. Nothing. And Bob Iger's a Knicks fan. Like, what are you doing, my man? What are you doing? Doesn't even make sense.
Well, I mean, look,
I've been dancing around. There's a new translation. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So now on to our favorite subject.
Should I leave?
No, you should stay. Should you turn off the video and see if that works since most people listen to you?
Or like refresh or something. Yeah.
I can try.
Yeah, I stepped on you not knowing it because of the lag.
Yeah, same.
When are they going to fix this internet thing?
I know. The gremlins. I just blame the Russians for everything. It's probably the Russians. They don't want us talking about Scott Jennings today. They don't want us talking about it. Before we get to Scott, I guess as we're getting to Scott Jennings. So first of all, he's growing up. Here she is. Entered. Just kidding. Let's see.
Well, while we're waiting, I can plug my book because it was published.
Yes,
it's
please.
Pub Week this week.
Oh,
So
wow.
just to fill time, we have a commercial for my
Yes.
book, Hot Type, about the linotype and the birth of mass media. So now that we have our guest
Fantastic.
back, we'll end the
And we
commercial.
can buy this where?
You can buy it anywhere.
Anywhere.
Audiobook as
really?
well. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
no. You can't go into a Barnes and Noble anymore and know they're going to have it.
Okay.
But you can
okay.
buy it online anywhere.
Okay. Good.
Who
like.
published it, Jeff?
Bloomsbury.
Nice, very nice. Cannot wait to get it. Can't wait to have it autographed, Jeff. Next time I'm playing about a squash tournament near your house, I'm gonna which will be
Coffee
soon.
and book.
Coffee and book.
Okay, so now on to our favorite topic.
So you guys, it's hard to say what's true or not true, but there is apparently a rumor going around now that Caroline Leavitt is leaving that Scott Jennings will be replacing her.
And that he seems to want to replace her.
Well, he does.
Please. He is thirsting.
I mean, I have never seen a more thirsty guy. He's been auditioning on CNN's Air for that job since Trump.
For years. Yes.
Tell you this about Scott Jennings. I say a lot. Oh. Am I still going in and out?
Yeah.
Just
So,
keep going.
Michelle, why don't you
Okay.
recap the story about this from reliable sources?
Well, I mean, I can just say what I know, which is that, Scott Jennings has been thirsting for this job, like the thirsty, thirsty boy that he is, for a very long time. He wants nothing more than to be at that podium and to be love endured by Donald Trump and all his minions. Um, and while he is growing some facial hair as well, I don't know if that's part of it. I'm sure Trump will make him shave that off. But there were rumors that he had dinner with Susie Wiles at Morton's Steakhouse in DC, which is about a block from the White House. It is also rumored that Susie Wiles' choice to be taking over this position is Scott Jennings. Now, at least I saw this in the Daily Mail. I don't know if it was reported elsewhere. Donald Trump still would like a woman to be at the podium. I mean, surprise, surprise. I'm sure he wants some young hot blonde or something out there.
Someone who looks like, oh, I don't know, Natalie Harp.
Correct.
Just someone who looks like his daughter.
Yeah. Or somewhere in the vicinity. And who's to say? I mean, Donald Trump at the last minute, might say, screw you, Scott. Sorry, man, stay at CNN where we need you. You know, who knows? But that's the story. I don't know if I'm missing anything, Julie and Jeff, but please, by all means.
Well, it's funny that you say this. I've been pretty much shadow banned by CNN since I wrote my column about Scott Jennings back in January when he and I went on, and I forgot who the host was, some awful person. It wasn't the typical. It was Jessica Dean's show. She was
Yeah, it was a fill-in, I think.
It was a fill-in, and this guy just let Scott Jennings. I mean, when I say that he just started screaming at me.
Yeah, he did. If anybody wants to, I think you can go. Wait, sorry, keep going, Julie. Just trying to fill in.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I can hear you when I'm not. I just
okay.
So so I haven't been on CNN really much since. Certainly not on Abby Phillips' show. For some reason, she's decided that she's going to be his great defender, and kind of I've been banned on that show ever since.
Didn't you say he was thirsty? And I'm sorry, if I'm talking and you're talking, it's literally just because you're freezing. I'm not trying to talk over you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, didn't you say that he was like thirsty or something like that on air? Like, yeah, I forget what it was that he said.
Yeah, I mean, I said a lot. Yeah, I said a lot. I can't remember what I said, but everything I'm saying here, I think I pretty much said to his face in that column. But I did go back to CNN once. And I'm sitting in the green room, and two separate people who are very well known at CNN, whose names I will not mention for just I don't want to on this network. Like, we cannot believe that this guy is actually employed by this network. He should have been fired after he stuck that hand into what's his name's face.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name, and I'm sorry because he's on Substack.
Mockler.
Yeah, Adam Mockler. But a good authority that rumor about him is true, about him controlling, Chelsea bars for men.
Everything about it sounds right to me. Everything.
And I said, well, I don't know about that part, but the point is he is hated by his colleagues at CNN, and he will be hated by his colleagues at the White House, except this one person did say to me, and I said, why is he still here? And she said, he's very good at sucking up. Very good. This is a guy who punches down and sucks up. And I can tell you that that's true because I spent a lot of time in the green room with him during the Biden era. And when Joe Biden could not have been. I know you.
So I think that one thing that Scott Jennings could do that Trump will love, since he's not a blonde woman, is that he will attack the press constantly. He will be absolutely hateful to everyone in the room. He will go after them with glee because he loves that, and will have and he, I think, is bound a little on CNN until Barry Weiss takes over. He can only go so far, but in the White House briefing room podium, there's no stopping Scott Jennings.
What?
Oh, Julie, man.
Maybe try turning off the video.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe turn off your video.
All right. All right.
I don't like that, but
I
We'd
will.
love to see your beautiful face.
yes.
But we want to
One
hear
sec.
what you have to say from your brilliant mind.
How do I turn off my video? I mean, I don't know.
At the bottom.
I see it. Okay.
There you
Yep,
go.
there you go.
Is that better?
So far.
All right. So I will say this. I cannot wait for him to go after CNN.
Yeah. Yes.
Cannot wait. I love Caitlin Collins. I think she's very good. Like, I think all of their correspondents are actually good at CNN, but I cannot wait. And it's not her fault, and it's not the fault of anybody else's.
Yeah.
You guys hear me or no?
It goes in and out. Yeah.
Right. Well, I was saying is I can't wait because it's going to be the comeuppance that Mark Thompson deserves.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
Can't wait. The fact that like even when I was a Fox, you guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
When I was a Fox, if somebody was this close to getting a job, they would have told that person to take a leave of absence until
Interesting.
So I got a question. If Jennings gets the
they
gig,
figured it out. They would
the
not.
gig will
Yes.
the gig will go on for no more than 3 years. What's next for Jennings? Is it Fox? But you've often said, Julie, that he's got a weak T for Fox people. What's his next career
he'll be
move?
Fox. By then he'll be a Fox because Fox will, what's her name? Why am I blanking on names today? Kayleigh McEnany could not get hired at Fox to save her life. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
bring a show like Fox will take him.
Yeah.
Barry Weiss might take him at CBS, right? He'll have his own radio show. Like, it's a great.
Which he already has. Yeah.
Which he already has, but it'll be even bigger. It's a great career move for him. It's a great career move for him. But he is. If this happens, if this doesn't happen, he will be the thirstiest loser on earth. And the fact that CNN will allow him to stay is just unconscionable. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
You're
that
better.
there was like a cooling off period between government jobs and like private sector jobs, like in this
Yeah.
in the same, you know what I mean, same plane. Like for the fact that, you can be a banker or whatever and go work at the SEC and then go work at Goldman immediately after, or a Federal Reserve or something like that, right? The fact that you're going to go from the podium directly into, behind a mic of a corporation is crazy. But, unfortunately, that's the country we live in, and the corruption is so out of control that it's not going to go away anytime soon. But,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, it happened on the Democratic side too, right? Like,
Yeah, I
Jen
know.
Psaki-
I don't like it either way. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, Jen Psaki was negotiating a doctor nonstop.
I know.
Doctor negotiating a job. Somebody in the chat said Cynthia Rice, Bill O'Reilly was naming a doctor in his program. The doctor was murdered. Yes, it was Dr. Tiller in Kansas. O'Reilly called him Tiller the Killer 24/7 until somebody was an abortion doctor until somebody actually killed.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I missed that. When was that? Do we know when that
forgot.
was? Yeah. Was it like 90s
Dr. Tiller.
or
No, 2000s.
2000s? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the point is, like, it's just these people are awful. Scott Jennings is awful. Scott Jennings is full of shit. Scott Jennings doesn't believe anything. Interestingly, the New York Post has an exclusive today that MAGA is up in arms against Scott Jennings. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that MAGA's up in arms against Scott Jennings because he's a McConnell guy and he doesn't really believe in Trump. And so obviously somebody out there is trying to screw Scott Jennings, and it's phenomenal. But I will tell you, if Scott Jennings gets this job, he has one person to thank. And if I were in his shoes, I would get on a plane. I would fly down to Atlanta. I would take my millions in my CNN and radio money, and I would buy the biggest bouquet for John Ossoff, because that is who will have gotten him this job. Because he got Trump's attention this week by going and defending Natalie Harp's honor in ways that are completely counter.
All roads lead through Natalie Harp.
Oh God. Oh God.
I didn't hear this myself, but my wife heard Maggie Haberman on MS said that Natalie Harp is Trump's binky. That is just perfect. And Maggie Haberman is not known for such.
Yeah, like editorializing things
No,
to the
no.
to comical, levels.
It's perfect. It's
It
absolutely
is perfect. I mean, oh my God. First of all, the John Ossoff thing, I don't know if you want to watch it. I have the clip on my
Oh,
computer
sure.
somewhere, but let me find out what we're talking about it. But the thing about it that's so crazy is he didn't say anything that was outrageous.
All he did
He
was mention her
stated
name.
a fact. That's all he said. He goes, travel with Natalie. That's all he said. And you'd think by Meg, and now mind you, we all know that this is performative nonsense from them and hypocritical nonsense. That, oh my God, how dare you? How dare you? Misogynistic attacks against Miss Natalie Harp. And like, do you know who you're talking about? Donald Trump? Donald Trump, who said you're bleeding out of your wherever, who said called Rosie O'Donnell a dog. I mean, this is 2 out of about 1 million insults towards women, towards female journalists. I mean, the list goes on. And that doesn't even include anything that's in the Epstein. So here is, I think this is the right one, of John Ossoff on Sunday at a rally in Georgia.
While he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
It's never going to go.
They're brilliantly, I mean, Ossoff. These
Yeah,
things are brilliantly
so
done,
good.
brilliantly produced. The camera angles, everything. It's just,
It's beautifully
just
filmed.
great.
Yeah. It's
And
great.
Then
It's
you
great.
have David Axelrod. Michelle sent this.
Oh, crying out loud. This, I can't. I gotta find it because let me tell you right now.
Okay, David Axelrod. Back in the Obama years, maybe it was unseemly. Has he been fucking asleep at the switch for the last 20 years? Like, does he not understand what's been going on? How you get attention in this economy? It's not by giving high-minded hope and change speeches anymore. Otherwise, Cory Booker would be president right now.
Yep.
Like, it's just not how it works anymore. I'm sorry. And there's a couple of things I want to say about Natalie Harp. We mentioned Bill O'Reilly just a few minutes ago. He crawled out of going to defend Natalie Harp's honor. And the way he decided to do it, and I just want to quote what he said, you don't get lower than that. He called out, and then he determined to demonstrate the high-minded standards for which he's famous. He announced that he would vote for Vladimir Putin over Ossoff.
Well,
yeah. And he
Yeah.
suggested that were he Trump, he would be, quote, combing everything that Ossoff's ever done. To which I say, Bill O'Reilly, maybe Bo Dietl can take for Donald Trump the way that he took it on for you when a woman came forward in 2004 to accuse you of the loofah incident and sexual harassment, and you hired Bo Dietl to comb through her entire life and scarred her so much that she's never again. I like the fact that you have Bill O'Reilly riding in on his white horse to defend women.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
It's just, I just want to say, and I wrote a Substack about this, but I tell people what happened with Bill O'Reilly because I have an NDA with Fox, but I don't have an NDA with respect to this because I had nothing to do with Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly hated me because the last time I was on Bill O'Reilly's show, I stuck it to Bill O'Reilly. He basically called me a smartass and never wanted me on a show again.
that is the greatest honor.
Yeah,
It's just amazing. I'm like picturing you in your lashes of glory and your little 5'2" frame, just sticking it to that.
Michelle,
I
I look
love
good.
it.
I was about 15 years younger and had the fake hair and the fake lashes and the short
I love
skirt
it.
and my
I
arms
love it.
were like, not the 52-year-old woman arms of today, and I look good. But anyway, so yes, but I disrespected Bill O'Reilly, and he did not remember what me on. I like to think about this malignant narcissist, but I couldn't avoid it because he decided to get into this Ossoff thing. And let me just tell you what was going on, friends. I was at Fox towards the end. Every so often, I would wake up and I'd be like, I wonder what happened to Michelle Kinney. Like, I haven't seen her around for a while. Where's Michelle Kinney been? And then you know, maybe a couple months later, I'd wake up and I'd be like, huh. What happened to like Michelle? Like I thought she was on vacation and now she's gone. And the answer would always be very similar. The answer would always come back, well, you know, the ratings really weren't that good.
Right.
The
Right.
ratings weren't that good. So they
Right.
didn't renew Michelle's contract because Michelle's ratings weren't that good. And of
Mhm,
course, we
mhm.
never got to see the ratings because they were like a
Right.
state secret. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
for reasons I'm about to explain why. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess the ratings aren't good. So
Mhm.
that's why Michelle had to go. Let me just say this. Fox News mints ratings like it's going out of style. And during the Ailes years, if your ratings weren't good, it is because Roger Ailes didn't want your ratings to be good. He
Mhm.
wouldn't give your show the support that he needed, that you needed. He wouldn't give you the guests that you needed. He wouldn't give you
Time slot. Yeah.
the time slot that you needed. He wouldn't give you the producers that you needed. He would basically tank your show so that to get rid of you, he could say, oh, the ratings really weren't that good. So anyway, so all these women who disappeared, I'd be like, including some who I was, you know, I was very friendly with. And I was like, huh, whatever happened? And these women, when I say disappear, like never to be heard from again. And not returning texts, not returning phone calls, and I was like, oh my God, obviously they want to put Fox in the rearview mirror because they're upset that they got, you know, didn't get renewed. Once in a while, that excuse would be combined with, well, you know, Michelle was really difficult to work with, so, you know.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
This is what
You know.
they do. They have to build a narrative over time, get everybody to believe it, make you out to be a difficult bitch, and
Yeah.
that you weren't even good at your job anyways. So when they let you go and they kick you out the door, you look like a crazy person for saying otherwise.
Well, and then lo and behold,
Not that I'm speaking from experience, but yes.
lo and behold, the wonderful Emily Steele of the New York Times has an explosive story about how there are all of these women who accused Bill O'Reilly of sexual harassment, independent of each other over the course of many years. And of course, Fox shoved them into arbitration, so there would never be a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And they would get some sort of settlement, and then they would leave, but they'd never work in television again because, of course, they were difficult to work with, or the ratings weren't good.
Yeah.
And the last one of whom was a woman named Lise Wheel, who was a lovely, lovely, lovely woman. Like, if anybody knew, like, Lise Wheel was just a treasure. She was a wonderful woman. She got $32 million in a settlement from Bill O'Reilly. Friends, Ron Goldman's family got about $33 million from Jay Simpson. Lise Wheel is still alive. What do you think that Bill O'Reilly could have possibly done to Lise Wheel to settle not a jury award, but to settle for $32 million because there was never a trial? Nobody knows. We could use our imaginations. I truly don't.
Did she file or was it just like complaint letters and stuff? I was just wondering if it was public record, like if there was anything that was.
No. Everybody had an arbitration clause in their contracts.
I see. Okay.
I filed a lawsuit. At most
Okay.
everybody had an arbitration clause, so that you had to go into arbitration, which was totally secret, and nobody would ever hear from you again.
Okay.
And the it's just astonishing to now come out there and defend Natalie Hart's honor. And he's, oh my God, heavens. By the way, Bill O'Reilly's got his platform. Bill O'Reilly just went to BillO'Reilly.com and started his own thing so nobody could ever fire him and advertisers can't pull out. He's making a fortune.
He's making really tacky commercials.
Yeah, he's still,
TV too.
by the way, this is the same Bill O'Reilly whose own daughter, this came out of his divorce lawsuit, accused him of
On the edge of my seat.
No, just Fios is cruel, man.
Spectrum. Can you guys hear me?
You accused him of what? We were like,
Oh, well, let me tell you guys. Well, she accused him of grabbing her mother by the neck and pushing her down the stairs.
Wow.
That's his own daughter's testimony.
Jeez. Scum buckets.
And by the way, looking more and more like Jacob Marley by the day. Like truly.
This is the same Bill O'Reilly who now wants to talk about 2022, not that long ago, got into a profanity-laced confrontation with a JetBlue gate agent during a flight delay. He cursed out this guy. He called him a quote-unquote fucking scumbag, and then denied threatening the man with the violence for telling him, quote, "You're going to lose your job." And after that clip went viral, O'Reilly conceded that he handled the JetBlue incident, quote unquote, poorly, but stopped short of an apology, and then went to social media to claim that social media were lying after this clip went viral.
Well, you got to sympathize with him. He has to fly retail. He doesn't have his own jet.
I know.
$33 million could have bought him a jet.
I know. He has to fly with us plebes, like it's just too bad.
It's very hard because he used to get the Fox jet wherever he wanted to go anytime, anywhere. And I know that people used to fly with him. And let me just say this about voting for Vladimir Putin over John Ossoff, because John Ossoff mentioned Natalie Harps and just said Natalie.
You're right.
So that's what John Ossoff did. Now here's what Vladimir Putin does, right? The United Nations has found that Russian forces under his command have used rape and sexual and gender-based violence against Ukrainian prisoners of war, detainees, and civilians. And that includes rape during interrogations, gang rapes in occupied towns, sexual violence against children, and threats of rape to terrorize and terror communities. Has called it, quote, deliberate military strategy and, quote, a terror tactic. So add to Bill O'Reilly's awfulness also that he's Putin's useful idiot in addition to everything else it is.
Right. There's not a corner of the world where women are safe. Truly. No. From people like Bill O'Reilly, from people like Vladimir Putin and his army of monsters. And this is why this from David Axelrod is so obscene. I just want to put this up here. He tweeted, this was 2 days ago at 9:30 in the morning. He said, "No one has been more consistently eloquent or incisive in exposing Donald Trump than John Ossoff. The paragraph from his speech that has gotten so much attention was a brutal takedown, but 2 words in it, quote, with Natalie, seemed gratuitous and unnecessary. They juiced the virality of it, I'm sure. Probably thrilled some of the base, who figured it would just be giving a taste of his nasty medicine. He distracted and detracted from the power of the message, to which I responded, go away." But Lord. I'm like, what planet, what century all live in? It's the, steroids with all of these people. This is why we lose. This is why we lose. And somebody at BJG in the chat says Axelrod is a hack. Correct. And I have had it with that whole crew of the pod bros and all the people from that. And I love Barack Obama. Oh my God. I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm so tired of this tipping around thing. Somehow, and I say this way too much, probably someone somewhere decided the Democrats are punching down and Republicans punch up. And that could not be the furthest thing from the truth. In fact, we are always expected to be the grown-ups, the good guys. And I'm like, what does that get us? Nice guys finish last. And we're finishing last.
Can I tell you something about Obama and the pod bros? These guys hitch their wagon to a generational talent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing they ever did. The only exception to that I will say is David Plouffe, because I've known him a long time.
Yes.
And a lot of
he's very good at what he does. Yes.
He's very good at what he does, and it's not like Obama was lucky to have him. The rest of these people were Ben Rhodes, God bless, you're a fucking speechwriter, dude. Let's not pretend that you're anything other than that, right? And all of these guys, and so John Leavitt, all these people, you were, who do you think you are? You got lucky by hitching your wagon to Barack Obama. And it is like saying that James Carville delivered this election for Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton delivered this election for Bill Clinton in 1992, right? Barack Obama was a generational, inspirational talent.
Yeah.
He just was.
Yep.
And I know some of the people who worked around him, and they're smart, but they've also lost every subsequent race they were ever hired to do, including another 2 presidentials. So let's not get crazy here about like who you are and what you're about.
Well, and also this obsession with Biden hatred is also, and this, I know this is not what we're talking about today, but like the obsession with Joe Biden and hating on Joe Biden and like Hunter Biden now, I'm like, guys, give it a rest. Give it a rest. And like you all sit around in your V-neck t-shirts and like doing whatever it is you do, trying to tell the rest of us, especially working class people of a world of which I come from, like what they need and what it is that they want. And it really,
well, the other thing about the Axelrod is that it's just so blind to what's happening in the world right now.
Yes.
It's just to think that a distraction. No, it goes to the point. My rant of the week is about the New York Times, because I've got to do that. It's a statute. I have to complain about the top broken Times every week. They have their twee authoritarian sliders. And they've moved up, manipulating the law to stay in power to a 3. We're only at a 3 versus 10 on the way to autocracy there. Good God, wake up. Wake up. And
First
all the way down the
wake
line.
up, and also there's a slide. Like, what is this? The terror, like, rainbow thing where it's like, "Ooh, is it red today?" Like,
Well,
what is that?
Yeah, exactly. We're already fully in autocracy. Yes. We're only protected because some people are protesting, because there's a few judges who are still okay. But otherwise, we're fully there. We're fully in fascism. But the Times, like Axelrod, like all those people, want to hide behind this and think that, oh, no, this is just politics. We understand politics. We're the smart people because we get politics.
And we're going to tell you.
Exactly. You just don't understand. Okay. So, yeah, they're not very nice, but we're only in a 3. When they're trying to, just take the fact of the gerrymandering. That's an 8 right there. Take the attack on mail-in ballots. We're at 9. Take the threats to throw ICE and DOJ into polling places. That's 11.
Yep.
We're there. We're there.
We're there. We had a president stage a coup to overthrow the United States government. We reelected him with the help of Russia and some oligarchs, and we gave him the keys to the Capitol, literally, in which he was sworn in the same rotunda that these people, were smearing their poop all over the walls, and then the next day pardon them all. So
well, and I have to say, somebody in the chat said this, right? And I want to give this person credit because you're absolutely right. Michelle Freitag, you said, look what they did to Monica Lewinsky. Bill O'Reilly built his career at Fox News on the back of Monica Lewinsky. That is when he became huge. Fox started in 96 with a slow go. Monica happened in 97, and it was off to the races for Bill O'Reilly. So I don't want to hear about how we're not allowed to do this because, heavens to Betsy, we're a little too, polite to do this kind of stuff. I've said this from the beginning. When they go low, we go in the gut. We get a shovel and we go in the gutter. And I'm sorry, this is the Jersey me coming out, because God knows it's how I break it. And Jeff, you know this because you live in that state. Like, it is.
Yo.
It is the dirtiest campaigning ever.
Yeah.
There's no, you take no prisoners.
No.
So maybe I just come out of that dirty world. But give me a break, Axelrod. You come from Chicago. It's just as bad. There's 3 places.
Oh, worse.
No, I don't know about worse. There's everybody. Carville always said.
I covered Daily back in the day. That was pretty bad.
Well, you know what? You weren't around for the McGreevy years, buddy. Let me tell you.
True.
Let me tell you what that the whole Jim McGreevy gay American thing did not happen organically. That was, I believe, Charlie Kushner was behind that one. But
wow.
Look, I think that you have a situation here where you have Donald Trump bringing all the women who accused Bill Clinton
oh my God,
of inappropriate behavior, of sexual misconduct, to Hillary Clinton's debate. Hillary did not have sex with those women, to quote Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton may or may not have. But they truly had no problem doing this to Hillary. And now you have John Ossoff merely mentioning an AIDS first name And if these people were smart, they would have just shut the fuck up and not said anything, and it would have gone bye-bye, and it would have been like people like us who know who Natalie Harp is would have been like, ha. Everybody
Right.
else who doesn't
It
know.
was an
Now,
inside joke. And by the way,
Right.
it comes after the two of them rode the food truck, the catering truck, from jet to jet. So whom he chose to take with him matters, and she is always his son, more
Yeah.
than cabinet members.
Yes,
And you know-
she did, and she was operating as an advisor next to him, less than a foot probably from the nuclear football for a year without security clearance.
Right.
Without security clearance. And that's where I ask again, where has the media been on this? Because up until John Ossoff said her name, I think she had been mentioned one time at the Washington Post, right? I mean, like, no one was writing about her. No, and like, and it, again, it's being reported now. All the stuff is starting to kind of trickle down and trickle out, right? That she is the person who controls what information he receives.
Well, friends,
And that goes on anything. And so she is directly or indirectly, however you want to look at it, responsible for policy decisions, not only here, but abroad.
And his mouthpiece to social media.
Yes.
and let me tell you something. I looked into this, and actually, it's not that I looked into this. MS Now did a story on this yesterday, and then I did a thing on it today. She refused to get security clearance for well over a year. The only reason she got security clearance is because Trump intervened. Now, what do we really know about Natalie Harp? This is what we know about her. She grew up, I believe she was homeschooled through some evangelical homeschooling issue. She went to some evangelical college, and then she went to Liberty University for her MBA. Then she gets Trump's attention by saying that he all but resurrected her from the dead, that she had bone cancer, and that thanks to his right to try law, she was saved, right? What could be more appealing to Donald Trump than to Jesusify him? Basically say that he, like, Lazarus, she was like Lazarus and he rose her from the dead. And what is fascinating about this whole thing is that's how she came on his radar. Now, by the way, that's total bullshit. Not that she had cancer. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but her timeline doesn't add up. By her own admission, she had tried this medicine before he signed the right to try law. So, but that's how she gets on his radar. Suddenly, she's speaking at the Republican National Convention.
In a pretty unhinged speech, by the way.
Sorry. Yeah, then she ends up at OANN, which Rachel Maddow rightly said was Russian propaganda. That was basically Russian arm.
I made some ads about OANN that
But
Brian
yeah,
Williams played.
the guy who owned OANN married some Russian woman, and then, doesn't mean that she's an asset, because who knows? She's just a Russian woman, I mean, whatever. But then all of a sudden he changes his tune and becomes very pro-Russia. OANN starts parroting Russian propaganda, and suddenly Natalie Harp ends up working there, and she ends up with every speech that she gives.
I'm just waiting for you to come back in.
I'm back.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, we lost you for a second.
I don't know. Yeah, so she ends up on this show, and then she ends every one of her shows with either scripture or quotes from Donald Trump. She intersperses, right? So this woman has auto-theized Donald Trump, who believes that he is Jesus, and that's called. I'm back, which is what I think her utility to him is. But what I think is so bizarre about this whole situation is she went from basically being somebody who went on Fox News and told a story about he raised her from the dead, to now being with him 24/7 and telling him everything that he wants to hear.
Yep.
How he is her world, and he's basically Jesus. And if
You are all that matters to me.
you're all that matters to me. If I am running an op,
Yep.
Well, there's
I'm
been great video
assuming.
online of her sitting next to him as
Yes.
this weird structure of trying to come up with Truth Social posts.
Yes. Yes.
And she's madly typing, and 5 people are saying what this should say, and he's saying it, and she's putting it in that ridiculously insane form that it ends up in.
Yep.
She's his enabler in all
Yep.
kinds of ways, as
Yep.
you were saying, Michelle.
Well, there's a difference between, and I think anybody who's been a staffer or anything, right, can tell you, like, you wake up in the morning and you think about your boss and like how the work that they're going to do that day and like how to protect them from certain things and, how to deliver maybe bad news or to, fend off any people who are trying to, to bother them or whatever else. But there's a difference between that, right? Doing your job as a staffer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an unhealthy, obsessive cult level. I mean, it's cultish. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Your friend, Jeff, at Decoding Fox News, put together a great montage, if you will,
Yes.
that I'd like to play here.
Julia Jeske does great work, so please do play this.
Yes.
We can't talk about winning back the House and Senate in 2022 and the White House in 2024 if we don't act on the fact that we actually did win the White House and the Senate in 2020. We shouldn't be afraid to say that, because it's true. We the people know America, as we know it, could be ending in the next 2 or 4 years, which is exactly what President Trump is warning of. They think if they can get President Trump, they can get the 75 million people to shut up and stand down. And as President Trump said at CPAC yesterday, each of us, if we haven't already, have a decision to make. Not in 2022 at the ballot box, but right here and right now, to choose a side. And by the way, sidelines don't count. It just shows how desperate the Democrats were to find the votes to make up for President Trump's insurmountable lead. And they can be summed up in 2 words: Trump won. President Trump says nothing's easy, but who wants nothing? Certainly not us. For above all else, we want to save America. President Trump is right. We don't have the luxury to sit back and wait. This is not an off year or in-between year. This is the year we decide the future of our country. Could Trump supporters be labeled enemies of the state? Because they are still afraid, not just of President Trump, but we the people. Think for 4 years, we had one who still influences us to this day, as do the words he spoke at West Point over 1 year ago, which perhaps are even more timely now than they were then, in what history will remember as one of the greatest speeches President Trump ever made. President Trump once said, "What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate." As President Trump often says, he should have just gone to the beach and we would be so much better off than we are right now. But as President Trump says, nothing's easy, but who wants nothing? And right now we're realizing we're going to end up with nothing if we don't fight back. That was 1 year ago today, when thanks to President Trump's peace through strength, President Trump never got enough credit for being a president that never started any new wars. That we would have seen peace even with Iran, because we would have made a deal with them. President Trump was on track to do that. It was beautiful to see, and it's so beautiful to see President Trump's living legacy going on, because this is a legacy of peace that will be passed on from generation to generation.
And we think that AI is sycophantic.
Cuckoo.
Jeez.
Well, but you guys, here's the part about her that's scary. She refused to get a security clearance for over a year.
Right.
Why?
Why?
And
I have a question for you when you're done. Sorry.
well, and did Donald Trump intervene finally, because the Secret Service freaked out one too many times,
Right.
get it for her, despite the fact that she might or might not have been qualified for it? It's not like he hasn't done that before. He did it for Jared.
Yep. Let me ask you, what do you think the chances are that she is an op?
I have no clue, but I know that it is I know this. She did not have security clearance, and she has sat in meetings where she had no business sitting. She has accompanied him to stuff that she had no business accompanying him to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about
My
Jared's? Did he ever get security clearance?
Jared got security clearance after the CIA said that he shouldn't because he had too many red flags, and Trump intervened and said give it to him anyway.
Unbelievable.
So the question is, how, and there are plenty of people in the first White House. There's a Washington Post story that Trump, I don't know, they said there were countless people in the White House who failed their security checks because of, criminal records or
What's that form you have to fill out where you have to like write if you did drugs and all that stuff?
It's beyond that. It's Form
Yeah.
86. She didn't fill out Form 86. Form 86 is like everybody you've ever met, everybody you've ever known, everybody you've ever, any job you ever had. I mean, it's pretty rigorous. I'll say this. Look, I've told the story before. On 9/11, I was evacuated with the Senate. Because my former boss, Senator Corzine, who then became Governor Corzine at the time, I guess decided we had a mutual murder-suicide pact, so he let the rest of the staff go home, and I had to spend the day. It's a joke, but I had to spend the day.
I know. It's just
the day with
dark.
him. Basically in the bunker, which was really the Capitol Police building, which is where they evacuated everybody. But I was privy to briefings that these senators got because I just happened to be there. I did not have security clearance. I should not have been there, but that was 9/11, right?
It was an emergency situation.
Yeah, and they didn't get any really horrible clearances, briefings. The only thing, ultimately, then they had to come back for a really big security clearance. At that point, I got to go home. But the point is, even that I probably shouldn't have been around for. And that was not, I will tell you, that was a nothing burger.
Right.
This woman did not have a security clearance, and she's accompanying the commander-in-chief to meetings with foreign leaders where she has no business sitting.
Yep.
Zero, none.
And controlling otherwise the information that he receives.
And
the White House photographers probably have have been more, cleared with security and other things, to be able to sit in meetings and listen to this information. I mean, I think about, how many rooms they probably sit in and photograph, right? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, they usually come in, take pictures and leave, but she also is the person, it turns out, I think Maggie Haberman reported this today or yesterday, who is the person that foreign leaders try to reach when they need to reach Trump.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you guys,
terrifying.
Do you ever think about the fact that we live in a world where our White House is completely infiltrated either by useful idiots or assets? It is not that hard.
We had a good string there.
Yeah, it was going for a minute.
It is not that hard to stick somebody close to Trump.
Well, speaking of which, I'm sorry, before we leave, I want to make sure we get this mentioned in. Another person who could be in the White House regularly, who could be, even the press secretary, in terms of the absolutely award-winning sycophants of the world, Michael Cohen emerges.
For crying out loud.
And the amount of airtime he got as if he was a good guy coming out of this, he's always been a sleazebag. And he's now interviewing Trump on his podcast.
Can I say something here, please? Having been at LP, right, for 4 years, he was kind of part of that, not to say like them, but part of that sort of coming out of Republican world or something and trying to, atone or whatever it is. And I truly believed when he testified before Congress, I believed him. I did. And maybe I'm just a Pollyanna and I'm a moron. Yeah. And I truly believed that he wanted to do better, to be better, that he wanted to do something else and make good for the bad that he had contributed to. I talked to him, I remember on a couple occasions. He came on the show that I produced over there. I saw him at an event in New York and was talking to him. This was right before I think he was going to be deposed with the Tish James thing or something like that. And he genuinely seemed fearful, right? And everyone seemed to be cool with him. I think he sent me a book at some point. I don't know why. I don't remember. I asked him to. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I say all this to say, we're starting Seneca Project and myself. I hope it's okay that I'm telling this, but he was like, "Oh, I love that you guys are doing this, and this is amazing, and blah blah blah. I'd like to be on your board." And we just kind of ignored that request.
Gee, I've got to go to the bathroom right now.
Because I was even at the time thinking, okay, you see the best in him, right? He's still an attention whore. He sucks all the oxygen out of the room always. I was like,
Yep.
whatever it is that we're going to do, he is going to make it about him, and like that would be a very, very bad idea. And for that reason and many others, I'm very glad, that didn't happen. But like, this is the kind of person that he is. And to now see him completely turning back around, you're like, this is a man with no morals. He has no moral compass. He has no spine. He will be remembered as a coward and a traitor to
Yep.
this country.
Yep.
Shameful. Shameful.
And you idiot, you went to jail for Trump and you're doing this?
Oh my God. Yeah. And now he's like, he apparently is asking for a pardon. He wants a pardon.
He'll get one.
Yeah, we'll get one.
Eventually, because he knows where all the bodies are buried, no pun intended, with the Epstein.
Yep. I'm sure that's leverage. He's probably using that as leverage. For
Our
sure.
friend, I don't know if you guys could hear me, but our friend Ellie Leonard has been making this point on her Substack over and over. If you don't subscribe to Ellie Leonard, what are you waiting for? Please do. But she's been making this point over and over. She has been tracking Jane Doe number 4, who's one of the four girls who accused Trump of rape.
Yep.
And
13 years old. 13 years old.
Jane Doe number 4 is one of them. And apparently he knows all the details about Jane Doe number 4. He never, if you remember, he never spilled the beans about the Epstein stuff.
Right.
Nothing.
Even when he went to prison, now he had something to trade for there. He had something to trade for, and he still never did. And that's the real question to me. Like, if I were facing prison, why in the world would I not give up everything that I knew in order to get out? Other than, of course, who's he going to barter with? It's not going to be the Trump Justice Department. But it's fascinating how even in the midst of his Democratic quote unquote reinvention, or resistance reinvention, he never gave up the Epstein stuff, all of which, I don't know about all of which. So, look, we never had him on the show, Michelle, because I always said he was a scumbag. There are other people. There are other people who I will never have on the show, who everybody still thinks of as these resistance heroes who are here.
Yep. Won't name names, but you can just look by.
Won't name names, but
yeah.
I'll tell you, there are people who just,
Yeah.
I think are full of shit in the same way, who are monetizing their resistance cred.
Listen, I will say this, and if you don't mind, Julie, I'm just going to say this quickly, is that there are so many people in this space who seem altruistic. And I'm telling you right now, they're full of shit. And this is a business decision. They have said so much to me in private that they had to make a choice. And this was a business decision to go into the anti-Trump resistance world. So take that for what it is.
Yeah. So saying all of this basically to say that I don't know why anybody was shocked about Michael Cohen. We saw him at the Webbies last year, Michelle. I saw him and walked in the other direction.
Was he there?
Oh, yes. He was at the
I guess I don't remember
he was
seeing
the after, I don't know if he was at the Webbies, but he was at the after party.
okay.
I didn't stick around the after party anyway, but
I did.
but yeah, I know you had a good time. But I saw him for the limited period of time that I was there, and I was like, bye-bye, no interest in him. I saw him. I knew that he was turning. I was on CNN with him. I was on Abby Phillips.
Yes.
And I told you this, Michelle. I was on CNN with him days after the 2024 election.
Yeah, there was like little things
called
he
you,
wouldn't say.
And I think I called you, Michelle, and I think I said, Michael Cohen is going back.
Yep.
Because he was defending Trump. He was there to be the anti-Trump, and he was defending Trump a little bit in ways that I was like, something here is going on. So he is a total scumbag. He always will be. I hope. Says that, and because he's old and sick, and these people will suddenly start to try to figure out their next grift, which will be probably the hagiography of Trump for some, and then turning on Trump for the second time for others.
Listen, I mean, you said earlier that it was either Jeff or Julie, I don't remember, said that, all of these people who bend the knee to Trump, whether it's ABC or Paul Weiss or, whomever, right? It never works out for them.
No.
It never works out for them. And that means everybody. And again, we watch this pattern continue.
There's no
after
pacifying
year.
the bully.
There is nothing that will ever be enough for this man. You could do everything for him and he will still throw you to the sharks. He doesn't care. And listen, Natalie, I don't think you're safe either, girl. All it's going to take is one thing or one day you look the wrong way or whatever else. And yeah. And I don't know, Jeff, did you see the letter?
No.
Did you see the letter that was, oof. We won't read the whole thing because it's long and it's painful, because I know you're a writer, and Julie, you're a writer. And I've never felt particularly confident in my writing skills, but never again will I degrade myself after seeing this. This was published. This is an actual letter that Natalie Harp gave to the President of the United States. Okay. This is a Daily Beast. You can see the watermark on it. It says, "Dear Mr. President, I'm sorry. I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over, and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside, customs," random words capitalized, by the way, "without my passport, I panicked and should have just called Secret Service instead of you. I also am sorry if I was an embarrassment walking the course in Scotland. The first day I was told there were no carts and people walked, which is why I walked. The second day I was specifically asked by, I forgot who his name was, but one of the main people who work there, if I could continue walking and tell my other girls who would head out there to do the same, to spare the course any more carts."
God.
"If there is anything else I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know that some people have said I haven't been texting them back, and there have been some international cell issues. John was having technical issues on the plane too, so asked me to help him out." I mean, OMG.
Stream of unconsciousness.
It's unconsciousness is correct. And it keeps going and going. That's what I wanted to use the card for when you saw me at the cash register. And once again, did what you want, sorry, I don't have my glasses.
I'm really sorry I farted in the food truck. Jesus.
Yep. And gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, a coming of age. I will return a better person. I have to sign off now as the cars are leaving. See you soon with all my heart. And then actually signed, in penmanship, Natalie.
But it's not Natalie. It's not Natalie the way her name is spelled. It's Natalie, the French version, which is what he calls her. You guys, it is either she's an op, in which case my hat's off to her, or this woman needs tremendous help. Yeah. Tremendous. Because she is going to, and we said this before, Michelle, she's 35 years old. She's not 25 years old. And I'm going to give her some advice from the benefit of having once been a 35-year-old and now being in my 50s. We've all wasted a lot of time and all of our precious reproductive years on some
Correct.
Really.
I was just going to say, I hope you freeze your eggs, girl.
Yeah, on some men who don't deserve it. We've all done it. We've all had those guys that we were giving up our precious reproductive years for. And I'm here to tell you, times are running out.
Yes, and on that note, we talked briefly before the show, before we went live, and I would like to just give props to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is very publicly and transparently talking about her egg freezing process I think she's 37, and it's been reported has been separated from her fiance for quite a while and wants to preserve her fertility. And what she is talking about publicly regarding this topic, I know so many women, including myself, who has felt so seen and so validated in what so many of us go through and have gone through. And what she's doing is incredibly brave. For however anyone feels about her politics is not important here, because I've seen women on both sides of the aisle commenting on this and how great it is that she's doing this. And really, I think demystifying the process, because it is painful and it is deeply, horribly expensive. It is on your body. It's hard on your brain. It's hard on your hormones. It's not easy. And what she's done and what is she is doing. I think today she said on her Instagram that it is her egg retrieval day today, in which she'll have to go under anesthesia and everything. It's again the recovery from this, and so props to her. I thank her from the bottom of my heart, and I know many others for doing this, because hopefully it will become not such a taboo subject for people to talk about.
It's a very it's I'm really so inspired by what she's done, because it's generous in so many ways.
Yeah.
She's sharing intimate details of her life and this process and her, her pain and her difficulty, and her reasoning, so that others don't feel alone.
Yep.
And I've every time someone shares, we were talking earlier, Michelle, you said people get accused of oversharing. When I shared my prostate cancer, one person accused me of oversharing, and I just said, "You're over listening. Just go away." She's giving people an opportunity to understand that they're seen and heard, and I think it's just brilliant. And God bless her.
Yeah. And I think also shedding light on something that I think just people assume, that if you freeze your eggs when you're younger, like that it's a guarantee, but it's not. Like even then, you could do this in your 20s, and there is no guarantee in life that any of this will work. And I think talking about that, it's scary. It's scary to talk about. I just can't thank her enough. Truly, truly. In the age of oversharing, this was the perfect overshare, in my opinion, or just share in general.
Yes, agreed.
And Jeff, I didn't know about your prostate cancer. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm
no,
glad you're great. My dad just went through this in the last year.
okay.
So yeah.
As the doctor said when he gave the diagnosis, if you're going to get cancer, this is the one to get. It was a little bit glib, but okay.
Right.
So I hope your dad's okay.
Yeah, he is. Thank you.
All right, I'm glad you got that in.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys, I don't know if you can still hear me, but because my internet keeps going in and out. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, right now we can. Yep.
I'm going to go because my internet is going in and out. Okay, well, I'm going to go because my internet's
We're all going to go. I think it's time.
Yeah. And just one very
other than to say, in addition to
Yeah.
the fact that she did something wonderful, she
Sorry, I think I stepped on you. Sorry.
Go ahead, Michelle.
No, please. I think I stepped on you because there was a
No,
glitch.
go ahead.
No, you, because it has nothing to do with this. Go.
No, I'm going to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm
We all
going
are.
to
We
go
don't
because
say
my
anything.
internet is bad, so I'm going to go goodbye to everybody.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to say also, because I've talked about it on the show, is that my little girl Ella Rubin's show, one of the best streaming shows, it's like number 1 or number 2 on streaming, has been renewed for a 2nd season, and I'm very proud of her. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch Sterling Point. She's the best. We love her. So that's it, and happy Friday, everyone. Jeff, I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Julie, if you're still here, but I don't think you are, you have a great weekend too. And to everyone else, stay sane. We'll tomorrow morning at Saturday at 10 a.m. With Julie, myself, and some combination of Dana and Lawrence. Bye, everyone.
Fix the damn internet, people.
I know. Russians be damned. All right, bye.
Bye all.
Everyone.